Hello everyone, I am live with your first lesson on Clairsentience. So let me start by introducing a little bit about what Clairsentience is. It's really clear feeling. Now, clear feeling can also come up as clear sensing, sensing and feeling. So when you walk into the room, you're usually the person who understands how that energy of the room is, if it's too cold, if it's a cold energy versus a very friendly energy, right? And you might just, when you're talking to a person and you're having that conversation, you might also understand that, oh gosh, this person is not happy, this person's sad, this person is thinking a lot. Or it might also happen to you that when you're talking to somebody on the phone, and this has happened to me, if the other person is sick, like if that person has a headache, I start getting a headache, So that was something that I experienced when, not that I understood my gift at all and in the beginning, because even as a child, if I look at my childhood traits, I was a loner, I didn't have a lot of friends. And, but I was always the sensitive one and the responsible one. So this is what happened. Here I am I'm a loner, but I was responsible for 2 of my siblings, and then I had an extended family living with me, so I had 6 other cousins. So I had 2 siblings and 6 other cousins with me, and I was the oldest. So because I was a loner, but I was also the responsible one and the sensitive one, I always understood the needs of the siblings and my cousins. I always understood what they were going through, counseling them, disciplining them, at a very young age of 9, I would say. And then what happened is that since I became this responsible person, I started noticing that now that I look back, the adults in the family gave me a lot more responsibilities. Because not only was I a loner, a responsible one, I was more sensitive. And guess what happened when I did that? It affected my inner child so much. And when I awakened and I was trying to heal my inner child at a later stage in life, I really had to heal that part of me because I didn't have a childhood. I was always responsible. I was always acting like the second parent for all those 8 siblings and cousins. And so you see how this inner child block develops for someone who is a clairsentient and also an empath, because all empaths are clairsentients, but all clairsentient beings are not empaths. So in my case, I was an empath and I was also a clairsentient. So that really affected my childhood, and that's when my block developed. And then the other instant I remember was that because I took on people's energies at a very young age, I would remember as early as age 6, I started getting a lot of anxiety, and there was no outlet for me to really release that anxiety. So what I remember I did was I bit my nails a lot. So I always bit my nails. There was a way for me to relieve that anxiety that I was bringing on from others, really not my emotions, not my sadness, not my grief or anger or negativity, but it was as if it was mine. And as a child, I didn't know how to really deal with that. And what happened is I became extremely anxious in the way that I started biting my nails. I was lonely, quiet, responsible, sensitive, but at the same time, I had this anxiety that I didn't know how to deal with it. So let me know if that resonates with you, because I know a lot of you, your primary clair is clairsentience. So that was my strongest clair. Now, I also want to mention a few things that I did with healing around this work. So let me mention a few things that helped me. So the reason we are empaths and clairsentients that I understand from my guides and angels is because we are able to walk past this veil of separation. We are really able to go through this veil of separation, and we're able to chime in or vibrate with this frequency and vibration of oneness. So for us, people who have this gift, we really have this gift. I want to say it's really a gift until you recognize it's a gift so that we can really discern people's feelings, we can become more compassionate, and we can learn to really heal from our hearts, connect through our hearts, and live a fuller life, versus people who just connect with their mind. So this was something I learned as a clairsentient, that this is really my gift. So here are a few things I did. Let me see if you guys have any questions first. So I just wanted to give this a little overview so you understand what it is and why it is a gift and why we have that gift. The primary thing my guides tell me is that we can go past this veil of separation and become this frequency and vibration of oneness. And that really resonated with me, because always I would take on people's energies and I would start being the negative one or the anxious one and the worried one, although I know that that wasn't me. But at that time, I didn't know that. I always took on people's energies thinking that was my energy, So a few things you can do to really help you. This is lesson 1. So I just want to keep it very like level 1 lesson 1, like a one-on-one on clairsentience. So one thing I did was make a decision not to be afraid of your feelings. So really looking into your feelings at a deeper level. So if you were sad, anxious, negative, start asking those questions. First, is this energy, is this feeling really mine? Am I bringing it on from someone? Because usually when you ask that question, you'll get the answer. Intuitively, you'll get an answer. There will be a yes or a no. You'll get an uneasy feeling that this is not you. So really what you need to really do is send that energy. What I do, 2 things. Send that energy back to the sender. You don't have to know who the sender is. Just make an intention that this is not your energy. I wish to send it back to the sender. Second thing you can do is always have a bubble of light around you, like a light of protection. So whenever you walk out, if you go to the market, like if you're stepping out to go to this grocery store, if you know you're going to work, put on that bubble of light around you, and that is something I learned to do at a very earlier stage of my spiritual awakening, because I used to work 12 hours as a nurse. So imagine being around people for 12 hours a day, people who are sick, extremely sick, serious, in intensive care unit, having heart issues, family members who are worried, anxious, nervous, and then working around nurses who are always so busy, and that busy energy. And imagine bringing all those energies home with me, and that is when I realized that I really need to do something different with this. This is not my energy, and this is something I cannot bring home all the time. So make a decision to not be afraid of your feelings. Really face your feelings and try to see where these feelings are coming from. If they're not yours, send them back. And as always, use a bubble of light around you when you step out. So the second thing I want you to do is start owning what is yours and isn't during conversations. So this was my biggest, I would say, weakness as a clairsentient. When people were talking to me, let's say 2 people were talking and they're complaining about someone else, and if they asked my opinion, I would chime in just because I wanted to not offend anyone or make anyone sad or make anyone disappointed. So I would say, yes, I agree with you. And yes, I agree with you too. But I had my own opinion. I didn't want to be in that conversation. If I had my way, I would have said, hey, don't involve me in this because this has nothing to do with me. But I had this biggest weakness of not hurting anyone's feeling. I never wanted to hurt anybody's feelings. And guess what happened when I did that? So I told you how my inner child block developed as a child, right? Because of my gift that I didn't know was a gift. Second thing that happened was my block of self-love, self-worth, and deservingness. Because when you're always trying to do things for others, and again, I'll mention the third thing, when you're always trying to do things for others, always trying to make sure everybody's happy, nobody's offended, you are creating a block for yourself. And that block is the self-worth block, the deservingness, lack of deservingness block, and the lack of self-love block. When you're walking in these big crowds, when you're in these huge crowds, you are bombarded with people's feeling. And because your aura is your aura extends 2 feet all around you. So you're really taking on people's energies into your aura and really thinking they're yours, you know? So that's what I mean by the first thing I mentioned, learning to protect yourself and sending that energy back to the sender. Yes, people pleasing. Yeah, Megan, that is another word for it. Perfect. Because I would always not want to hurt anyone's feelings, so I would just say yes. Okay, and so that happened with me. Perfect, Megan. I hope that resonated. Awesome, Christine. Yes, yes. But it's really like sometimes as a child, I would always put myself down in the way that why am I so different? You know, why am I a loner? My parents, who were very supportive, would be like, you should be going out more. You should be playing with your friends more. You should be making more friends, you know. You should be speaking more. You should be more social, because I had siblings who were very social and I wasn't. And now that I look back, I realize this was my gift, really. You know, it was my gift. And had I known as a child how to really work with that gift, I wouldn't have those blocks that I had to work with, you know? Perfect. Yeah, Megan, for me, it was mostly, I felt so comfortable around children. That was my go-to place, because children are innocent, you know, they don't have all those emotions that adults have. So anywhere, anytime I had to be around an adult, even as an adult, I wouldn't be comfortable. I would always be comfortable around children. Even as an adult, I would be playing with children or reading them a story or talking to children, because I felt so comfortable there. I didn't feel that anxious, nervous energy. Perfect. Yes, yeah. And Shell, that happens because number one, we become people pleasers. And that's why we develop this block of the lack of self-worth, self-love, and deservingness. And that is why this block develops in us as a clairsentient or an empath. So I just wanted to tie this to the blocks that we have. How our gifts, if we don't know our gifts, become our blocks. Perfect. Awesome, Veronica. And then the third thing I wanted to mention was that learning to respect your boundaries. So I was the yeser. Like anytime the nurses maybe on the units ask me, hey, Dina, are you available to take care of my patient or do this or handle this for me? Although I had my own patient load, I would always say yes to everything. And that again was a reason why I developed this block of self-worth and deservingness and lack of self-love for myself, because I put myself second. I didn't know what my boundaries were. I didn't respect my boundaries, you know, because my go-to feeling was always making others happy, always making sure they're happy, you know, they're taken care of, they feel happy, they feel secure, you know, they don't face any issues. And same applies to my family. I always made sure that my parents were always like, if they asked me to do something, although I didn't want to do it, even as an adult, I would be like, yes, I'll do it, you know, because I didn't want to hurt their feelings. I didn't want to hurt my siblings' feelings, my family's feelings, my patients, the co-workers. So see how this cycle goes on and on and on, and then you start developing these blocks over time. And when I started to work on my blocks as inner child and the self-worth block, it took me a while to get over that block, because it was so rooted. It was like second nature for me, you know. It was like I was supposed to be that way. There was no other way for me. But when I started awakening and healing and working with angels and guides, I totally understood that my gift is not for that. My gift is not because I should put myself second. You know, my gift is really to help others, heal others, but at the same time, keep my boundaries, you know everything around me, and understand what are my feelings and what are not my feelings. So that was a task to learn. So I just wanted to discuss this today, just an overview, and I'm hoping a lot of you resonated with that. Let me read more messages. Yeah, Shell, awesome. Yeah, that happens to me too. I love to stay home. I know. Christine. Yes, Christine, that happens because our primary, the primary reason we have this gift of clairsentience is because we want to vibrate at this frequency of oneness. And when somebody is not happy, there is no vibration of frequency of oneness, right? Because now they're separate from you. You're happy, they're not happy. So what we do is we make sure everyone's happy. And we cannot possibly do that. We cannot possibly do that because we are putting ourselves second. And that should not happen. Perfect, Shell. Perfect, Veronica. Yes. Now, Veronica, you might listen to this and you might know how your inner child block developed too, Veronica, because if you did that from early from early childhood, your young age, like maybe 6 onwards, when you started developing that consciousness, if you did that from that time onwards, you definitely have an inner child block, which I did too, Perfect, Christine, Veronica. Am I supposed to? Yes, Veronica, you're supposed to help others as if you're a clairsentient being, which I know you are, and I'm also sensing you're an empath too. Your gift is because you can help others. You can help others discern their feelings, their energy. At the same time, you can be a healer, help heal their energy, help heal their feelings, or you can be a teacher and help them become better. What is the word? Like, you can become better, like help them manage their feelings better, their emotions better, right? So it can work in a lot of different ways. There's no right and wrong. Like, use your inner guidance, Veronica, that because you're a clairsentient, you have that gift. It's like an inner GPS. You already have it. So what you really need to do is use that to help others in a positive way. And there's no right or wrong because you will learn to help them the very right way because you have that gift and you're already using it to help others, discern their feelings, help them make sense of their feelings sometimes or their emotions, right? Yes, Megan, totally understand. Yes, totally. We put ourselves second, and that's when the self-worth block develops. Totally. Perfect, Shell. Perfect, Shell. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad that resonated. Hi, Tomatoha. Good afternoon here. Good morning for you. Perfect. Okay, so Nanelia, how can you shield yourself? The first thing I mentioned is always envision a bubble of light around you. So you can call upon an ascended master or an angel and help them with this. So you can visualize the ascended master, the angel, and then visualize this bubble of light around you as you're stepping out, as you step out of the house, envision this bubble of light, for protection. And then when you get home, you can say to yourself, okay, remove my bubble of light. And the angels or the guides will help you remove that because you don't need it all the time. You just need it when you're around people. And then I also use a second bubble of light. And this time I use Mother Mary's loving light, which is pink. And what I like to do is I envision myself in a white light. And then I have this envision myself in a pink light over it. And what it does is that with intention, I say, let only love go through this light. Through this bubble. So the pink is for love, so you only attract loving energy. So if somebody wants to be caring and want to give you a hug and is compassionate, it's going to allow those energies to come in. But the negative energies, the anxious energies, I would say the not so good energies that you don't really want in your aura are just going to bounce back. So I hope, Nanelia, that helped. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Veronica. You're welcome. Nanelia, one thing you can do, the bad energies, you can do chakra balancing, you can do chakra meditations, you can do sound healing meditations, and sometimes visualization also helps. So if you want to envision yourself, that the bubble of light, but now envision this sponge around you. I always envision this white sponge around me, all over me, and then the sponge with intention is just sucking away all the negative energies from my aura. I just imagine and visualize that, and then I feel so much better after I do that. And I also do that with my two kids, like I have two sons, and the 8-year-old especially, I know he's an empath too. So I practiced this with him too, knowing that now I'm more aware that how I can help him, knowing that I went through as a child. Hi, Christine. Perfect. If I place my work up. Yes, Christine. So definitely that happens because you're an empath and you have this gift of clairsentience. So really learning to use this gift to help others versus putting yourself second. Like always put yourself first and then use this gift versus putting yourself last and then using this gift. Hi, Tomatoha. Perfect. Yeah, the topic is clairsentience, and I was just sharing my, I would say my experiences being an empath and a clairsentient. So hoping that it can help you, and I gave you 3 pointers on what to do and some ways to shield yourself too. So you might want to catch the replay, Tomatoha. Hi, Lisa. Oh, Kristen. Perfect. So Kristen and you are sisters. Awesome. That's amazing. Perfect. Hey, Samantha. Samantha, I didn't get your question. Hi, Lo. How are you? Oh, okay. Sorry. You're talking to somebody else. I'm so sorry. I thought that was a question for me. Megan. Yeah, Megan. So maybe with my next session, I will discuss how I use this gift when I do readings, because I use this gift when I do readings, and I use my gift now when I do chakra balancing. You know, when I look into people's chakras, I use that gift to help balance their chakras, and I use this gift when I do readings. So definitely using this gift now 100%. And I think the best thing that happened to me learning about this gift is that, yes, I can help people, but it really made me more centered, more aligned, because I wasn't carrying people's emotions, feelings all around me. So now immediately I know it's not my feeling, it's not my emotion. Before I did not know that, you know, so I would be suffering in a way with the same way other person would be. So if they're negative, I would become so negative. You know, when I came home, I would be extremely negative. If they were anxious, I would come home, or I would be out with them, and suddenly I started becoming very anxious. So not knowing which were my feelings and which were their feelings was something huge, like literally had to learn. And at the same time, learn my boundaries, learn not to be a people pleaser, and then learn to not be afraid of my emotions, you know? So perfect. Let me see if there's more question. Perfect, Megan. Awesome. So let me know if there's any questions. If not, I just wanted to do a little overview, share my experiences with you, what really clairsentience is and what happened to me and what kind of blocks you can have because of this. It's a gift, but not knowing it's a gift, then you can start having blocks if you don't realize it's a gift, right? So I don't see any questions. Perfect, Lisa. Awesome. So if there's no questions, think of this as lesson 1. You know, that might be something you learn from today's lesson. That might be something you want to apply next time when you're out with someone, or you are maybe learning to really have boundaries and not become a people pleaser, and really learning to face your emotion and knowing what are yours and what are other people's emotions really that you're carrying. So hopefully this lesson helped, and let me see if there's more questions. Yes, awesome, Shell. I love that. Perfect, Megan. I'm glad that resonated. Yes, Veronica, you can also have physical sensations, definitely. Once you sense that energy, because now from your energetic body, because we have 4 bodies, right? From your energetic body, it goes to your physical body, you know, and then you might start having those headaches, like I mentioned, when you're talking to people. You not only are taking on their energy, now you're starting to have physical symptoms. Either you become anxious, you start having a headache yourself, you know, and I've felt that so many times. Yes, you can take on physical sensations as well, but that is like a next level. First, you usually take the energy first, and then it shows up as a physical symptom. Hope that makes sense, Veronica. Perfect, Christian. All right, awesome, ladies. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And as I'm signing off, it's 222. So angels and guides are really telling me, hey, good to go, giving me a pat on the back. So I'm seeing an angel number 222 here. Awesome. Perfect. Until next time, thank you so much, ladies. I hope this helped, and let me know if you have any questions when you're watching the replay. Thank you. Bye.